Yeah, I missed a bit of the question there, but for us, World Weather Watch has been in existence for many years as a WMO program, which is in a sense a backbone of the observation system throughout the world. And it not only tackles surface observations, but includes satellites as well, and other technologies, including radar technology, which is much more expensive even than automatic weather stations. So in terms of data transmission, we have a new program now called the World Information System, whose intent and the backbone is the World Wide Web as a platform. So we're right there in terms of data acquisition, transmission and access for those that need to use the products and services.
One more question here, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Could you identify yourself, please?
Yes, I represent the African Center of Meteorological Applications for Development. The center is based in Niamey, in Niger. And I would like to thank the Global Humanitarian Forum for inviting us to be present here. Our job is to assist national Met services to develop, to provide services to their users. There are a few Met services in Africa which can do the job on their own, but there are many more who need assistance, and that's where we come in. And I would like to commend the WIFA project. I think we can do a lot. Just to give one example, Ahmad is working with national Met services in West Africa for the season which has just started. With the Red Cross and Red Crescent West African office, we provide warnings from the seasonal forecast which was issued last month. They start to plan strategy. Where are the programs likely to be? And they plan requirements for medicines, food, and every day we give warnings for them to react when we see a situation developing. Thank you.
Thank you. Final question, particularly to David and Carl-Henric. Where will it be a year from now? What's the speed of rollout, and where do you expect the network to be?
Good question.
Well, I can start on that. As I said, we're putting up a base station every hour around the clock, and we could basically deploy all these weather stations in a year's time if the rest of the project could cope with that, because that is the way we work anyway. But let me just finish off with a bit of encouraging information, because in these projects we need inspiration, all of us, to keep going. We just learned from WMO in Mali that from their studies now, that with the better weather forecasting that they can do there, they have a 30 to 35% higher crop yield. I'm sure that there are local WMO people here that can comment more on it, but it was encouraging for us.
David, final word.
Yeah, I think the only limitation, the technology is solved, the implementation systems work, the ability to transfer data works. It's now a matter of paying for one station at a time until all 5,000 are in place. So at the end of next year, we certainly, hopefully, have got at least the next 490 in place, if not more.
Well, if they're going up one an hour, it'll be over very quickly. All right. Carl-Henric, thank you very much indeed for joining us from Sweden, and thank you for this update on the progress on the WIFA initiative a year on.
ပဲနည်းနည်းပါဟိုတော့ရှိတဲ့ပြည်တွေပြန်ဆောက်တာဆောက်ပါလေပါအောင်ညနေ4 နာရီအောင်ပေါ့ဒီကတာတော့အဲ့9 နာရီလောက်ဆိုတော့ဒီကခြေလေးပါပါလာ
Well, now to the human impact report, which came out just under a month ago. All of you will have read it, and all of you will have seen the headlines in the papers, and you'll have seen also some of the negative response that there's been. That's something we're going to air over the next 45 minutes. We are running about 20 minutes late, which means coffee will be shorter, lunch a little later, but I'll still hope that you're back from coffee as soon as possible, and we'll be ringing the bells to make sure you are. But there will be 45 minutes of discussion now about the impact of the report, the methodology, and also the way it's being received and the way forward now, particularly on this critical issue of the human impact.